I'll tell you, I don't know if it's busier during the season or during the off season, but
Hmm.
boy, we got hit, early in the week. I kind of had an inkling it was coming, but Larry Scott, the commissioner of the Pac-12, decided to go ahead and step down. He'll be on through June. Just your reaction, and what does this mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's great timing, right? The landscape of college athletics is just shifting so dramatically. And this conference is not about whoever leads it. This conference is about the 12 great schools that are in it and the student athletes, the coaches, the fans, the alumni bases, the cities, right? The network. And so we have so much potential as a league, and we're not as far off as people, I think, have said. And I think that is a reason why change is important, because when you get to that point where the optics are where they're at, you gotta create change and you gotta shift that momentum. So um, I'm looking forward to whoever serves in that role and working with him or with her to help the league get stronger. But obviously, we want to win championships at UW, and that leadership at that level is really important and impactful for our ability to do that.
I told you the story before. The head of our network, 24/7 Sports, announced that he was stepping down. And he said that he felt as though he had taken the network as far as he could and the skill set necessary to take it to the next step. He didn't have those tools in his toolbox, so he was better off, handing off to somebody
Mhm.
who had that skill set. Is that kind of where Larry Scott was at?
Yeah, I just think it's like this is where we're at as a league and as a conference and as an industry, which is I really believe we've got to get somebody in this position that has a fundamental understanding of what college athletics is all about, where it can go, how we can continue to combine the value of education with sport, with everything coming our way, with NIL, with the Alston ruling that's going in front of the Supreme Court, and whether or not we're going to be compensating players. Where media rights are, how the fan bases are changing, and probably most important, Kim, how students are changing. Students' expectations and kind of what they're looking for now, and how we manage student related issues are complex. So, that's a lot to ask for one person, but I think great leadership, somebody that understands the value of college sports, that loves higher education, loves students, we can fill in the gaps on the media and branding side too, if we can't find somebody that has strong background just in television. So I just think it's a good time to pivot, because the complexity of what's going on in our work is just unlike anything I have ever seen.
Tell me if I'm off base on this, but I see this as kind of a two-prong attack on hiring somebody new. One to run the league, but I think somebody who's strong in running and being a Pac-12 commissioner may not have that skill set to get the TV deal done. That's a whole different skill set, and being just good enough at one of them and just good enough at the other might not be good enough. Where this is actually going to need more than one person or an outside consulting firm on the media end of it.
Yeah, I mean, the media deal is so obviously, we know how pivotal that is, right? For us, for our exposure, for our finances, for meeting our fan expectations, for closing the gap. But those deals are cut and they last, as you know, right?
Yeah.
We've been frustrated with ours, after just a few years in. And so, but they're done. And so you absolutely, have to have somebody in this role that's going to be committed to a successful next deal for us. But it doesn't mean that that person has to be driving that expertise. I mean, just think alone how many brilliant people we have that are tied to our 12 institutions that are experts in this industry, in this specific area that we could tap into. Or maybe it's a consultant, and or maybe it's a commissioner that is experienced it in another Power 5 conference at a level that he or she can bring that expertise. But it's more than that. Our work is more than that. And a leader, really the most important thing I think for the person in this position is to be able to, and where I really think we're at is like being able to inspire the 12 universities, leadership communities within where the universities are, for people, especially in the academy, to understand that like an elite athletic program is not in contradiction to an elite academic institution. They work together, and we want to be excellent in academics. So why wouldn't we want to be the very best in sports? that's like what has to be inspired across our 12 schools. And I think somebody with a fresh look on that is going to be able to work with our CEOs and obviously support our athletic directors who eat, leave, live, breathe, sleep the desire to be the best.
You interested in the job?
I'm interested in UW. We had built so much momentum, and then, let's be honest, like the momentum is stalled in a lot of different ways, in some ways that we just really have had no control over. And it's so interesting because the irony is like we're still doing what we exist to do, which is serving students and developing them. And if you talk to our student athletes, even Elijah said, Molden said, those I'd never trade anything for those last 4 games. Those 4 games we had, like, thank you. That was like everything. If you talk to our kids, they'll tell you like they're just so grateful for any and every opportunity that they've had. And so, okay, so great. Like we're still doing what we're supposed to do, but not being able to do it fully, not being able to do it with our fans, not being able to connect with our season ticket holders and our community. It just feels like we have so much work to do to rebuild that again. And that's where my focus is.
All right, and don't laugh when I ask you this, okay? People
I'm,
are
al-
asking. People
I'm
are
already
asking.
laughing. It's okay. I'm
People
used
are
to
asking.
it.
Is Chris Peterson
Whatever it
interested in
is.
the job?
Oh my God, that's so cute. I wish. I mean, you'd have to ask him that question, but my guess is I don't think so. Chris is, but I mean that's his. That would be his question to answer. All I can say about Chris Peterson is that, I mean, how lucky are we that we still have him in this area impacting university. I actually had the chance to sit in and listen to him do a leadership presentation for Foster School of Business the other day, and I talk to him every week, at least once, if not more times a week, to get counsel and advice on things. I have him on board as a consultant with another guy named Brett Ledbetter with a company called What Drives Winning, and they do weekly or monthly sessions with our head coaches. He's doing a lot for people that want to be their best leaders and highest performers in our industry behind the scenes right now, and that's pretty impactful. He's changing a lot of lives. So Commissioner Peterson, I would not complain about that, but I don't know if we could get him there.
Yeah, that
At,
look.
at least he's not like, you're not asking me, oh, is he going to be the Boise State head coach again, or some of the other crazy rumors that I've heard.
I can imagine. I've gotten the look because on questions I've asked Pete, and I pretty much know the look I
Yeah.
would get. So
Oh
same one when I
God.
ask
I
him.
mean, you're like scaring me, making me think about that steely look. I know that look too. I've been on the other end of that look before.
The answer is no. And next.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.